Hey, and welcome back to Star Wars in Depth. Today we'll be covering the new Star Wars Squadrons game and the news, details, and just information.
We're super excited for this new game, guys, and let's get right into it.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Okay, so this past Thursday, EA announced that they were going to be doing a new Star Wars game called Star Wars Squadrons, and it was going to mostly focus on starfighter combat.
What was previously known as Project Maverick has now been officially revealed a couple days ago. It all happened so fast to be coming out October 2nd of this year, which is insane, knowing what's going on in the world right now. And this game is going to focus on dogfights and a new mode called Fleet Battles, which we'll get into later.
Yeah, this game looks super interesting. It has some new mechanics, which I'm excited to look at. There's going to be where your shields are placed. So you're going to be able to choose what part of your ship those are focused on. So if you're starting the fight, you put them on the front, and if you're kind of being chased, you can put them on your rear so you take less damage.
But yeah, this leads to a very high skill gap, which could be really interesting and keep people engaged, because you can practice maneuvers with different movement systems, and you can target your energy from blaster fire to shields to just turbo boost. It's just it's insane with all the movement, which means people are probably gonna be all over YouTube learning new maneuvers and different techniques.
It's gonna create a very high skill gap. I think what kind of is gonna make this game interesting is whether or not people are dedicated into learning new tricks and how to balance out their shields or their blasters or how fast they're going. I feel like them trying to learn that balance is gonna be key to the game's success. If no one really cares and the sweats just kind of work on it and no one else does, the game's not gonna be as fun.
But the interesting thing about this game is the classes that are being provided, with the fighter class, which is more of the Mario, the well-rounded, the just even X-Wing TIE fighter, just the standard class. Like
the Assault of Battlefront 2.
There's also the Interceptor class, which is the speed, which with super low shields, kind of just get in and get out, quick
Not
firing.
A lot of firepower.
Yeah.
So that would be the A-Wing or the TIE Interceptor.
And the next class is the support class, which is meant on healing ships, disrupting, and more of just a support role.
And that would be the U-Wing or the TIE Reaper.
Yeah, and finally, the last class is
heavy, the bombers. So that would be the Y-Wings or the TIE bombers, and they're kind of the slow guys that other ships will try and protect, so they can lay down heavy hits on capital ships or get in good hard firepower on other ships in a dogfight.
Just like the tanks of the battlefield, the heavy hitters.
So you can use those ships to play in the more casual game mode, dogfights, which is a 5-on-5 between 5 ships, and you're trying to eliminate the greater amount of enemy ships before they eliminate you.
So basically just space team deathmatch.
Yeah.
And next we have the campaign, which is really interesting and is one of the main polls for me, which seems really interesting because you can experience the campaign from both the Empire's point of view as the Titan Squadron, and you can also experience the campaign through the New Republic's Vanguard Squadron, which is something that I haven't really seen before. It's just gonna jump you through different different factions, which is pretty new and interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be cool to kind of get to see both sides of the story and see what happens with both squads post-Endor.
Another interesting thing that EA is implementing into this game is zero microtransactions, which means there's no pay to win, there's no bought cosmetics, everything is purely earned through XP, which is great that they are listening to the people and they learned their lesson from the terrible Battlefront loot crate scandal that happened at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting how you have to work your way up and have to play with each class, and you really kind of have to play solo and campaign before you kind of go into the multiplayer mode, so that you don't have a bum ship.
Yeah, and I think through these games you'll be able to earn credits, which is the currency in Star Wars, where you can buy cosmetics, like different paint jobs for your ship, and like possibly stripes, and like customize your cockpit, which is really interesting. But also, the big thing is you can also buy attachments for your ship that you can unlock.
Yeah, and according to the creator of the game, these attachments are going to allow us to see these ships act in a way that we haven't before. Like, it's going to add in completely new features that the movies in Star Wars couldn't portray.
Yeah, some of these could alter your cannon or your ship's lasers or your shield, or maybe have an astromech on the back of your ship, or just it is really interesting because it's almost like you're creating your own ship, and there's millions of like different like combinations for each ship, and it's like interesting to see which ones will be meta and like how this moves the game forward.
I also think this is going to be pretty interesting because it's a first-person game. Like, usually most like Starfighter games are third-person, and I think it's going to be a nice little shake-up, and I wonder how that's going to affect the game. So to go along with their dogfight mode and their solo campaign, there's going to be a mode called Fleet Battles that they're putting into the game, and it's going to be a 5v5 battle where you have to take out objectives, and you kind of move back and forth across the map to try and take out the enemy's flagship, and you have to win a dogfight and then take out the supporting capital ships before you can finally win. And it's interesting because you can queue into random lobbies and just kind of talk stuff out there and figure out your strategy, or you can play with your friends. So if you get a group of people together, you're going to be able to like strategize really well. And that's also interesting because from the beginning of this game, it's going to be completely cross-play. So you can play with Xbox, PS4, PC, all of that. It's all in one place. You can also play it in VR, which should be interesting.
Yeah, as you were getting into, at the beginning of each game, there's going to be a like strategic room. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's where you like have a certain amount of time to strategize like different like who's going to be what class and how you're going to like attack. And it's like this like type of game mode has never been seen before in any game, really. It's kind of one of a kind, and which is kind of fits with the one of a kind Star Wars universe, which is like it's gonna be a tug of war style game, and yeah.
I feel like Star Wars, this video game is gonna kind of be expanding the boundaries of video game because of the VR aspect, and like the fact that this mode hasn't been seen before in a Star Wars game or other video games before.
So there's all the news after the EA Play event for Star Wars Squadrons. We're super excited, and we're ready for a new like age of Star Wars gaming.
Yeah. If you have any video ideas you want to see or anything you want us to do, comment down below, or you could reach out to us on Instagram at Star Wars in Depth.
Thank you for watching, and feel free to watch any of our previous videos, like and subscribe, and see you next time.